Broadcast live.
Coming to you live.
We're live.
In front of an audience from around the world, where we talk about fighters, fighting, and events. Welcome to Fight World Live, where you can hear about the latest in the world of combat sports. Get ready to gear up and square up, because we are going live. And now,
Broadcasting live.
Super broadcast live.
this is Fight World Live.
Well, goddamn. Welcome to another edition of Prime. What's going on, Mr. Gabe?
What's going down, Mr. Potter?
What's up? What's shaking, bacon?
Not a thing. Just relaxing in the guest room.
There you
doing
go.
the show for the day.
There you go. There you go. I'm with four-time world champion, one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet, and Gabe for old time's sake. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for
Let's
it, Gabe?
go.
Come on, you're ready for it. The great Mr. Gabe. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Let's
we need
go,
one of those
baby.
we need one of those for Mr. Hatton. He's the one who
Mr.
deserves that.
He is actually absent for tonight. He has a lot of meetings going on, so we're gonna give him off for the night. And
Busy man.
conspicuous from our absence in general, I want to give a apology. This is gonna be the best throwaway episode ever, just to get episode 3 out of the way. I mean, a lot of hiccups with this episode, so I'd like to apologize and thank everybody for still tuning in. And we still have people in the comments. We still have people watching live. So thank you very much. All life circumstances fucking happen. It goes down in our personal lives. We're not, we're not superhuman. Shit happens. So we're gonna do this throwaway episode, get this out of the way, wrap this with like a Christmas present, call us Tampex, pull some strings, and just get this done and get this over with. Right, Mr. Gabe?
I don't think of it as a throwaway episode, my friend. It's just an episode. There's no throwaway.
Yeah, but
Brilliance is decided on an episode by episode basis, and you have no idea this might be the best episode of all time.
We've been
Possibly
cock-teasing
not,
this for a while, though. We've been
But it could
cock-teasing
be.
this for a
could
while.
be, yeah. Anyways,
And then I decide, let me just move to Vegas. Let me have a midlife crisis. Let me go through a divorce. Fuck that. And then, we've been cock-teasing this for like a month. And then,
things happen, man. Buddy, you just gotta roll with the punches, as they say.
Yes.
Roll
yes.
with the punches.
Yep. And no matter what happens in life, no matter how many girls we sit aside, no matter where we go, where we move to, it doesn't matter. You know why, Gabe?
Why is that?
But that's okay, cause we're big dick bandits, 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 big dick bandits.
You know what I mean, Gabe?
You can't argue with that. You really can't argue with that.
Can't argue
Nope.
with that.
Not at all.
And a lot is going on in the world of combat sports. We're going to cut with this emo shit. We don't want to bore you to death. We don't want to talk about anything else but combat sports, or else we're going to get a lot of people at home saying,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gay!
"Oh my God, I'm back! I'm back on my A game."
Wow, you're on rare form there, Potter. I think this
Holy
might be.
shit.
I know that we're missing Hatton, but this might be a good episode.
I'm
like
back
you're
on
on
my A
fire.
game. And I was not going to come back. Obviously, handling stuff in my personal life, a lot of stuff going on and priorities and stuff. But I was not going to come back and give you guys something half-assed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come back and fucking dog it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna give you my best. So that's why
Coming out
this
strong.
was a perfect day.
That's what the people want. The people want that. They want the strong David Potter.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck
That's
yeah.
right.
And a lot's going on in the world of combat sports, and you know what time it is, Mr. Gabe. Do you know what time it is, sir?
What time is it, David?
Damn, I was doing so good. Oh shit.
I'm not sending you any.
You don't have to send nudes, Gabe. I'm sorry about that. You don't
I'm
have to
not
send
sending
nudes.
any. I
Are
get
you
myself
sure?
in trouble doing that. Yep.
Fair enough, sir. Let's go. Five topics. All right, just like me on prom weekend, I'm going to start this off with a bang. Obviously, 5 topics are questions submitted by the fans. Thank you very much for watching the show, tuning in. We're going to answer every single question. All my bros and hoes in different area codes with swollen lip nodes and tiny chodes. David Potter, the big dick bandit of all of MMA, including with Mr. Gabe, four-time world champion, is going to answer all your questions. So, Gabe, are you ready for question number 1, my friend?
Let's go.
All right, we're in this bitch like an unborn baby. Let's go. Topic number 1. Let's go. Okay, so last night, Jake Paul had another victory, another tremendous victory in the first round. But upon doing research on his opponent, it says on his LinkedIn that he is a full-time Uber driver. Obviously, Uber is a tough schedule, especially if you're going to have a boxing career and box a guy who's going to be doing it full-time. And he's been inactive for 5 years. Gabe, what say you about this fight? Did you see any of the highlights, good sir?
I thought the guy was an oil rig worker. Did they change opponents?
Uber. Yeah.
Oh, Uber. Okay, so as far in the combat sports world, I think Uber driver trumps oil rig worker. But look, people aren't tuning in for who he's fighting, although they should be, But every boxer fights cans, but most of them, when they fight the cans, they're not a prospect in their own right. Like they're not the one making all the money. I feel that was it a pay-per-view?
Yeah, it was actually on Danzin. Shout out to our friends on Danzin. It was on Danzin pay-per-view. And Jake got done in the first round with the main event. He was not even main event. He was below Sereno, I think. The woman boxer, the woman world champion. Yeah, so he was below and won by first round KO.
I mean, it's surprising that he was able to knock out an Uber driver in the first round. You kind of would expect. He's lucky it wasn't a Lyft driver because the guy might have gotten the second.
Exactly, right?
I have no problem with like trying to build yourself up, and that's what he did fighting MMA guys that didn't box, like a Ben Askren who has zero stand-up whatsoever. But I personally feel like now he needs to step it up. Like the last guy he fought. Wow, Jake is a little bit better than you, Stacy. Loves
God damn it, Stacy! I thought you had my back. What the fuck?
Wow, Jake, you trump me, and then you're I'm on the road.
You like that? That's right. That's right. In your face.
Right, I can handle it.
In your face.
I live with it. It's okay. It's like every day in my life. But no, I feel like he needs to step up as a game man. Like if he wants to be recognized as a legitimate boxer, he needs to fight some legitimate boxers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a world beater, but a guy who's spent the last 5 years as an Uber driver. How many fights does the guy have overall?
I know. I'm not really too sure. I don't think he was really that much ranked. I know he was inactive for about 2 to 5 years, though.
Yeah, that's just a bad look. But I mean, hey, you're trying to build yourself. You're trying to build yourself.
Yeah, and Gabe, you know this better than anybody. Every single great fighter has padded their record. I mean, look at Muhammad Ali after he got done with the 19s Rome Olympics. After he took gold, he fought his fair share of cans, and also Mayweather, Pacquiao, Mike Tyson. They're considered cans because that's how good they really are. Because if they weren't that good, it would be considered just fighting evenly matched talent. I call him Jake Hatton. Jake Paul is in a similar circumstance where he's that good, where everyone's considering the talent that he's matched up against, like padding his record. That's a good thing. But also a bad thing, though, if you know you're that good at a certain skill set, he's not just padding his record. This is Tampek's Ultra Protection Maxi padding his fucking record. These are not just throwaway fights. These are not just talented guys who's ranked. This is a false sense of security that he's fighting against. He's fighting against people that have been inactive, has not fought much, has not fought great talent, and it's going to provide a false sense of security. And I mean that by he's now ranked over Tommy Fury, who dollywopped him and won convincingly in his fight. He's also one step below a gentleman who's 10-0 and has been more active and just as active as Jake Paul. This is going to be a false sense of security, and he's calling out fucking Canelo. I mean, this is providing him
look
security.
He calls out everybody, and it's very easy to call people out, and especially like, come on, Canelo would destroy him, but it doesn't matter. He can talk, and the talk is what you're concerned about, right? So look, who doesn't Jake Paul have beef with? Who doesn't Jake Paul call out? Who doesn't he try to fight? And the shtick is the shtick, and it's what he does. But I wish he would fight actual talent.
Yeah,
he seems like a good boxer. He's beaten two guys which I consider good MMA boxers in Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva.
Oh yeah,
like those are two good boxers in MMA.
When was Anderson Silva's last boxing fight? 1998. It's been
no, that's
a while.
not true. He fought
Tito Ortiz. Yeah, he knocked out your best friend. I forgot.
that was great, but that's not what I'm talking about. You talk
the retired boxer.
the junior.
Yes.
What's his name? His dad is a legend, and he's not. God. Anyways, yeah, but so I want to see him fight some actual talent.
Yeah, he's got to grab his balls, and he knows he's at a certain level. He's got the mechanics, he's got the fundamentals, and he's got the muscle memory, and he has the fundamentals. He should be fighting people that are a little bit skilled. Like he can't fight any more unranked people or inactive people. He's got to step up in skill. Or you know what? He's gonna keep padding that record until he climbs up the ranks. It's gonna be a similar scenario when Mike Tyson got right out of jail and fought a quote unquote undefeated guy. That guy from Boston. Remember that? When Mike Tyson, yeah, and he fought a guy who padded his record all the way to get up the rankings, false sense of security, and Mike Tyson fucking whooped that ass.
Well, but that guy knew that Tyson was gonna beat his ass. It was like that was one of those fights. Yeah, he was 10-0, but he was picked expressly to bring Tyson back into the limelight. And the guy, I have no doubts, knew that as well.
Fair enough. So, we're off to a great start, good sir. Are you ready for topic number 2? All right, let's fucking do this. Let's go to topic number 2. All right, wrong one. I apologize about that. Let's go. Topic number 2.
Just a little ditty about two.
A little bit rusty. I do apologize about that. All right, Mr. Gabe. UFC 300 main event announced. Underwhelming or overwhelming? What say you, good sir?
I think we talked about this last time, but underwhelming. It's a good fight. I have no doubts it's going to be an exciting fight. But the way they were talking was it was going to be mind-blowing. It was going to be insane. They made it sound like it was going to be a GSP and Habib coming back to fight. Like the way Dana White talked about it was that this fight, it even got to a point where people were talking about like this is going to be the Zuckerberg Elon Musk fight.
This is going to be the Kayla Harrison Holly Holm fight.
Exactly.
Made you agree to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got him, baby.
Oof. No, so it's a good fight, but it's underwhelming for how it was built.
Right.
What do you think, Potter?
I would like to coked out to the gills Conor McGregor coming back. Like, oh yeah, let's just fucking fight Mike Shaler. I mean, they got rid of USADA for the sole purpose of getting Conor McGregor back on time for UFC 300. So a coked up, roided up Conor McGregor. Oh yeah, let's go fight Michael Chandler. Oh, Papa 12. Like, I would have fucking loved to see that. I would have paid top dollar. Shut up and take all my money. I'm going to be in Las Vegas for UFC and covering UFC 300. But I would have loved that. I would have loved Conor McGregor coming back. Obviously, it was too short notice for him. He just got done with Roadhouse, which is a cult classic and arguably should not be remade. But that just goes with old souls like.
One of my students actually is in the new Roadhouse.
Well, fuck me in the beard. Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Is he an extra or?
Nope. She is a proper character.
No shit. Wow.
Yep.
We should bring her on the show.
If you want to. I mean, she's 14.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Fair enough.
I mean, we could bring her on the show, but I don't know how. I actually, the other part is I probably wouldn't because I'm actually really protective of her. She said, I heard her father says that weirdos are always like sending her messages on Instagram and stuff like that.
My God.
Yeah, pretty crappy. I think there's some really crappy people in the world.
Fucking weird. That's why you gotta get gun owners like me and Gabe who would fucking bam and Kane Velasquez that shit.
That's right. Wow, some good form there, Potter.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Are you a competitive shooter?
No, I haven't shot in a while. I gotta get back now that I'm an eligible bachelor again. Now that I'm back on my bachelor game, before I move to Las Vegas, I definitely have to take my gun out for a spin. I haven't been on the shooting range since probably 2019.
In Vegas, you just go to the desert and shoot shit.
Oh my god, dude! You gotta have a weekend of just fucking shooting, man.
Anytime I'm all in for that. That's my go-to.
Let's get a couple of beers, man, and let's just hunt humans for sport. You know what I'm saying? Starting with Tito. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like where this is going. That's what say it online. That's what say that on. That is a conversation that we do via text. Duh.
But yeah, you know what? Like I think it's and by the way, I see everything from rose-colored glasses, so I preface this. But I think Pereira he earned it. You know, I think he's fought great competition, and he's been in the main event spot all throughout, and even throughout the duration of me covering UFC. Excuse me. Even throughout the duration of me covering UFC, I've seen him in every main events with Izzy. I've seen him in main events. He just knocked out what the fuck is his name? The Zen Master, the guy with the cool haircut.
Oh yeah, Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri.
Yeah.
You know, he's been knocking out top tier competition, been in the main event spot. I think this is more of a reward. It's not a reward to the fans as much as a reward for Alex Pereira, who's been extremely reliable, you know, and he's also, I just think this is kind of a reward for Alex Pereira being a company guy. And I'm all for UFC building more stars, because with UFC 300, it's going to be the biggest pay-per-view buy rate. It's going to be a box office blowout. And you know what? Alex Pereira at the main event, that he's going to be a marquee star. If he's not already now, which he definitely is with the diehard MMA fans, he definitely is going to be with the casual MMA viewer, with him being in that top event spot.
I mean, that could be that's a theory, and I think actually that could make some sense. But like, if you build something up to be like next level, this is going to blow your mind. It better be mind blowing. And it's, again, don't be wrong, it's a good fight. I think it'll be an exciting fight. But the rest of the card is a banger of a card. So, you think the prelim, the main prelim of Harrison versus Holmes.
Oh, we're gonna bust my balls. We're up to that portion of busting my balls again. I'm good to be back, fucker. Motherfucker.
I'm just saying, it's in the right slot. That's where it should be. It's a very good fight, but it's certainly not main event type of fight.
Gabe is such a good, and by the way, he's one. And if this is your first time viewing, Gabe is one of my childhood heroes. He's part of that generation that helped build the sport to what it is today. We're good friends, and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't believe I'm hosting with Gabe Rudiger. He's the fucking man. But you know, and during this time of transition, during this time of life-changing circumstances, Gabe always checking up on me, being that big brother. Right when I get back on the show, just like clockwork. Fuck you, David. Where's your fucking wiener hat, bitch? Like,
speaking of which. That doesn't look like a wiener hat. Speaking of which, the hat you're wearing is definitely not a wiener.
We're gonna pass on that wiener hat.
We're not actually. That needs to be taken care of.
Dude, I won the bet's still ongoing. Jake was sending me.
It's not ongoing.
Sending me clips of power slap.
The reality is
still ongoing, motherfucker.
The only issue we've had is we haven't got a wiener hat yet. Now that you're coming to Vegas, you're gonna wear the wiener hat. That's how it's gonna go.
Oh, this is going to suck, too, when I move to Vegas, because I'll be so close to you. So I can't talk shit from the safety of my own home.
You can. I just can be there very, very quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to say one thing, like, fuck you, Gabe, because suck my balls. And you're literally going to be on the flight and fucking choke me. I'll turn on the light, and Gabe is going to be like, well, Mr. Potter, what'd you say?
Burbank Airport is 15 minutes from my house. I can be on a plane. And as a matter of fact, I have a student who's a private pilot who flies out of Van Nuys all the time. I just jump on a plane in 45 minutes. I'm knocking on Potter's door.
I'm going to bring up like one of those stories like, oh, remember that time that you were trading fucking Paris Hilton? And then literally you're going to leave. That broadcast is going to end. I'm going to wake up like fucking Kill Bill, buried alive. Gabe, no! And they go, well. You brought up the fucking Paris Hilton shit, didn't you, bitch?
It could happen. Yeah, you probably should leave that shit alone. That's right. Smart man. What about topic number 3?
All right, let's go. I love you, brother.
Love you too, my man.
All right, let's go. Topic number 3.
The cleanest feet on the beat. 3.
All right, UFC and WWE crossover is good for business or bad for business? Ooh, this is a good one. Actually,
I think we're just recycling old topics, my friend.
No, this was a question I was just re-asked.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I know why, and I'm going to pull up the question right now because there are
good for business or bad for business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's probably good for entertainment wise, but it's probably bad for keeping the credibility of MMA. Does that make sense? Like, I think that as a business model, everybody wants to be entertained. Everyone loves insanity. They like things to be like, dude, like perfect example is Conor McGregor throwing a freaking a dolly at the bus and breaking it. That is so WWE already, right?
Yeah, but also Khabib, thanks to that and airing that clip, obviously the UFC felt a certain way about it. If they felt that was going to hurt their brand, they wouldn't be replaying it over and over and over again. And it's the biggest box office draw in UFC history. So obviously UFC didn't really care that much, did they? You know?
No, they didn't. But what I'm saying is that good for business or bad for business? I mean, in the respect of like having eyes on, I guess it's good for business. But for the credibility of ensuring that you're a sport and not something like WWE, it's not good for the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So it's a double-edged sword. Like in one respect, everyone loves the entertainment factor and everyone loves that side of it. But I think that you lose the credibility of it actually being a real sport. And I mean, I think in a lot of ways the UFC's already kind of done that. You know what I mean? They don't follow a ranking system. They're like, number 10 is going to fight number 1 because he's a draw, or number 12 is going to fight the champion because he talks a lot of shit. Like, you know what I mean? That like, we're going to have a BMF title and neither of the guys are going to be, are going to be the best, but they're both going to fight because people like them. I mean, so I guess the credibility is already, in my opinion, kind of already lost. So I guess it's not bad either way, right?
Yeah, but and I was reading the question back and actually got cut off because Michael Chandler actually showed up on paper on WWE Raw or showed up on one of the programs and was actually like on the microphone, Conor McGregor, come out, motherfucker, and like was actually calling out Conor McGregor. And like now you have these crossover guys that are going back and forth. Daniel Cormier obviously is a big fan of the WWE product. So that was what they were alluding to now that UFC people, and I think this is good for business. I mean, let's look at Pride FC. Let's look at that business model, which was light years ahead of its time. Kazushi Sakuraba, a part of the Takada Dojo, Nobuhiko Takada, main evented with Hickson Gracie. Pride 1 sold out the Tokyo Dome. Kazushi Sakuraba, Pride 1. Nobuhiko Takada fighting Hickson Gracie.
Oh, Takada versus Hicks. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you meant Sakuraba. I was like,
no.
Okay. We're on the same page. Good.
Sakuraba becoming the biggest box office draw in Japan. Don Frye was a pro wrestler and used to go back and forth from New Japan Pro Wrestling over to Pride and back and forth. He was a UFC veteran. Kevin Randleman, the same thing, talent exchange. They used to have Antonio Inoki used to have great ties with Pride and used to bring in all these pro wrestlers. Remember when Tomohiro fought against Takamura, I think, fought against Don Frye and they had that fucking banger when they were both. Yep. Yeah, pro wrestling has provided its fair share of entertainment and fair share of moments to help out MMA and Bob Sapp too. Bob Sapp was one of the big, when UFC was rising from the dead, Bobby Sapp was on the cover of Time magazine on fucking Jay Leno before any mixed martial arts or any fighter in the States. I like the fact, and it seems like, and I was talking to Dana about this and Dana White, it seems like they're going to be taking the script like they did in Japan, which again, light years ahead of its time. And they're going to be doing the same thing with WWE and UFC and having those crossover people going back and forth, showing those appearances, maybe hopping on the microphone, showing the entertainment value. And I think it's going to get to the point where WWE fans and UFC fans are going to be fans of all the above, which is my type of people, because considering I've been fans of all the fucking above,
I mean, hey, to each their own. I'm more of a purist. I like MMA. I like the idea of MMA being its own niche and it being real and not having but again, I guess, my opinion just doesn't really matter. If they're making money, they're going to make money. So it's probably overall good for business.
You're a fucking 4-time world champion. Of course your opinion matters. You helped build the fucking
so Potter, I was 3 times WC champion.
Oh, 4-time world champion. Got it. 4-time.
and then I won a TPF title as well, but those are separate. But I've won the WC 3 times. So
Got it. So you're 4-time world champion. Got it, Gabe. Thank you. Thank you for the
yeah,
clarity,
yeah,
good sir.
yeah.
Definitely good. About time wrestling gets real. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to see crossover talent. Maybe some people, because people don't even realize this, but like fucking Bam Bam Bigelow, remember him? He fought in MMA.
He fought Kimo Leopoldo.
Wait, what's up?
He fought Kimo Leopoldo.
Yes, sir, and
Kimo
lost.
put a beating on him.
And also, Takamichi Noku fought. Nakamura fought. Let's see, Dos Carlos, who was Alberto Del Rio, fought in Pride and actually got his head kicked into the second row by Mirko Kroger.
And lost to Tito Ortiz. Oof.
Lost it. You wouldn't forget about that, my friend, would you?
Could not if I wanted to, unfortunately.
Quick question, and please, it went from 6 to midnight just bringing this up, but did you ever go to Tito Ortiz's restaurant yet? Just
in Florida? No,
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Florida. Yeah, I don't like Florida as a whole. Like, it's way too muggy and gross. And if I were to go to Florida, going to his cantina is the very, very last thing I would do.
Oh,
especially considering that there's probably 2 street tacos places like a block from my house, which would blow it out of the water.
Oh, you're not gonna like taco storm it, like Dojo Storm? You're not gonna taco storm? Hey, the tacos fucking suck, Tito. You big head bitch. Like, you're not gonna do that? Okay.
One day I actually was reading the Yelp reviews, and apparently the thing that like it's more of a tequila bar, and I can't even smell tequila, so that would be that doubles up the reason why I wouldn't go.
Oh, you can't drink tequila? Oh,
nope.
Oh, Gabe. Oh,
I know, right? I'm a lightweight.
Oh, Gabe.
Can't even smell it. It's rough. I was in Brazil and I drank way too many tequila shots, and since then, if I smell it, it makes me ill.
How many people did you murder and where did you bury bodies? That's the question. Like, you woke up, oh my God, look at all the dead bodies. Holy shit, what did I do? Like, oh.
You don't. Whatever happened in those states, we don't talk about.
Yes, sir. Copy that, boss. All right, are you ready? Speaking of Gabe only drinking apple juice when we go out to drink, when I see him, are you ready for topic number 4?
That's right there, baby. Let's get it.
Let's fucking do this. Let's go. Topic
Question 4.
Holy shit, that's a question. Ooh. Is the UFC purchasing BKFC? Mr. Gabe, what say you, good sir?
I bet the BKFC would love that. I don't know. I know that there's a picture that's going around social media of the head guy from BKFC sitting down with Dana White, but I think everyone takes those pictures. And who's the guy? What's the guy from BKFC? What's his name?
David Feldman.
David Feldman, that's right. Yeah. And he's always alluding to try to get something going. And I'll tell you this, if the UFC purchases it, it is a poor purchase because of how much money BKFC has hemorrhaged to make the contracts that they've made. No, yeah, dude, I can't imagine they're making enough money to pay the contracts that they're paying for. Like, they throw money, like they genuinely throw money, and I don't know. I wish Jake was in the room because he'd probably have a little more insight into that than I would. I think that it would be a poor decision for UFC. I mean, what does the UFC benefit from that?
I mean, it's another brand, it's another sport. I mean, they have slap. They have Power Slap, which is Gabe's favorite sport and mine, which is doing game busters on Rumble. He's got motocross. He's got all these different extreme sports. He also has grappling. You know, having more content. This is a content-driven world right now. So having another sport on there, another combat sport on there, could do nothing but help the brand. And BKFC, you need to go where the viewers are. And obviously, Triller, they're owned by Triller right now, but Triller's not necessarily known that much as a big-time type combat sports. I mean, they're fucking pennies compared to like Danzig and compared to a UFC Fight Pass and everything. And now UFC Fight Pass even has boxing. I got invited. I'll be sitting ringside for boxing in the theater in Madison Square Garden on the 14th. So I'm excited for that shit. But like, what's up?
I said nice. I didn't know that they had boxing as well. I just don't see how how it benefits the UFC. I think it'd be huge for BKFC, but I don't see how. I mean, maybe they see it as something that like it just needs to have the brand behind it, and then they can build it into something even bigger than it is. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that purchase would help BKFC way more than it helped the UFC. And I also know that the amount of money BKFC has put forth makes the price tag would have to be high, because for that, for an actual purchase, it has to be a price where there's going to be beneficial money. And if you're in the red, you're buying a company in the red, you're buying it pennies on the dollar.
And they're fucking hemorrhaging money right now, hemorrhaging. And you gotta spend money to make money. I get it, but they're in the same process as Zuffa was when they first bought the UFC. Yeah. And by the way, people don't remember this, but Gabe remembers because he helped build the sport and part of that generation that helped build it. And I remember as a viewer, Zuffa was not doing that good. And there was a couple of times where they could have fucking easily sold it, no questions asked, and it would have, it would have gone unnoticed. I mean, they were trying their hardest. They got back on pay-per-view September 2001, and they put on something that was the second worst event to happen September 2001. You know what I'm saying? Like featuring Vegas.
Yeah. Ouch. That's bad butter. That's bad butter. But yeah,
I'm kidding. I
get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I guess everything comes down to if it makes sense, and that it, what's the term?
If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
There you go. Thank you very much. So I mean, if the UFC sees it as a lucrative, then it would make sense. The BKFC, I have no doubts, would freaking lap it up to have that option to be bought out. But I don't think that if you're going to buy it, if it has the actual value that it's worth.
But that's what I was saying, though. And that's the point I was alluding to, that nobody knows better about building a sport. When Zuffa and Dana White first bought the UFC, what was the benefits? I mean, besides building another sport to potentially make money, if they purchase BKFC, who they know how to build a combat sport up to where it should be, it's going to benefit the UFC too, right? But
okay, so they had, so for better or worse, the UFC was already a brand. Now, at one point, it was actually a big brand. The first 1 through 3 hit all types of crazy pay-per-view buys back in the day.
295,000 was their peak, which was
I mean, you got to think for the time for something that's brand new, like for what it was, that's huge, especially the time frame 93. Yeah. So the UFC, even though it was illegal and it went through all this, it still was a legitimate brand. They just had to take that brand and put it into a mainstream viewership, and that's where the real difficulty lies.
But I don't mean to interrupt you, but bare knuckle fighting has been around since the 1800s. It's an ancient sport. So would you consider that a dead sport? But
it's never had a backing where, even when it was a niche sport, there were never stadiums. There were never, like, I mean, bare knuckle, I'm sure has happened in parking lots and things like that for as long as I can remember. But as it being an actual, so just take UFC, the MMA world, and understand that it was flourishing in other places. Japan, it was massive. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Came first. Pancrase came first before the UFC, and then UFC came. MMA has been around. And by the way, Antonio Inoki fighting Muhammad Ali. Shit, that was like the first modern day.
Yeah, yes and no, but like under really, really like specific rules.
Judo Gene LaBelle used to fucking dollywop boxers and fucking hunt boxers for sport. He used to do modern day mixed martial arts. He was one of the founding fathers.
But going back to I don't see how it benefits the UFC unless the UFC sees something in it. You know what I mean? Like, look, it's very, very possible, but I don't know.
All right, fair enough, good sir. Fair enough. So, are we ready for fucking topic number 5? Wow, this episode went pretty fucking good. I can't believe it. Let's go.
Man. See, you say it was a throwaway episode. This is a good episode, man.
Fuck yeah. We're in this bitch like an unborn baby.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my God, the show is tighter than fucking Tupac and Suge 994. Let's go. Topic number 5.
Let's make a baby 5.
God damn it. Oh, we have to get back on the wiener hat. Will Gabe and Jake give David his wiener hat in Vegas? The answer is no. I'm not wearing a fucking wiener hat.
Yes.
No.
The answer is we will do a show in Vegas, and Potter will be choked unconscious, and when he wakes up, he will have a wiener hat on.
Oh, fuck
That
you.
is a promise. That is a promise to all our listeners. And if you guys want that, just let me know.
I'm gonna get Jake and Gabe a spoon so they can eat my ass. There's no way I'm wearing a fucking wiener hat. The bet is still ongoing. And by the way, I preface this that we had a bet going on that Gabe and Jake would be fans of Power Slap, and obviously it hasn't happened yet.
After that episode, you said after that episode. So and both of us laughed hysterically. Again, Potter, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a live show in Vegas. I'm gonna choke you unconscious. You're gonna wake up with a wiener hat on.
Not doing shit.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there's everything that you would do with that. I'm gonna hold the phone and you're not gonna be able to choke shit. I'm gonna hold the phone for dear life and you're not gonna be able to choke shit. I'm gonna peel the top hand and I'm gonna fucking run, get a knife, get a gun, get something. A fucking mighty trident, and you're not gonna put a fucking wiener hat on me, Gabe. It's not gonna happen. Listen to me, Gabe. Four-time world champion.
First off, the question was asked by the fans. Okay.
And the answer is no, because I won the bet. Jake was sharing clips of Power Slap. He's a fan of Power Slap.
That's not true. And he's not here to defend himself. So that's not cool, you Potter.
All right, let me call Jake. He's gonna say he's a fan of Power Slap. Hold on one second. Ring, ring. Hello? Jake, hey, can you please confirm that you're a fan of Power Slap so I don't have to wear a wiener hat? Yes, I am, and I am David's biggest fan. He has a huge cock. He's a big dick bandit. Tell Gabe, fuck you. Oh, thank you. He says hello. Okay.
I mean, that was uncanny. I'm glad you had him on speakerphone because that sounded just like Jake. Yeah. And I like how Jake talks about your manhood, about the size of it. That's important.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
See?
I mean, I guess I stand corrected.
See?
You're still wearing a wiener hat. So
I'm not going to wear a wiener hat, Gabe.
You can be as mad as you want to get. You're still wearing a wiener hat.
Oh, fuck me in the beard. Come on, man. The bet's still going on.
It's not going on. You said in that episode, and that episode was a while ago. The fact that you haven't had a wiener hat, you should be thankful for that. And
you guys say you're going to buy me a wiener hat. Like, where's my wiener hat? And where's my care package? You said you're going to send me shit from Kaiju MMA and Fitness. Let's not forget about the wiener hat, but let's forget about David's care package that should have came in July. Oh shit. I don't like Kaiju MMA and Fitness swag. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to wear it every single day of my life. I don't wear that t-shirt that you gave me like it's a fucking holy Bible on my chest, on my back. Oh, I don't like t-shirts. I don't like free shit from Kaiju MMA and Fitness from the 4-time world champion. Okay, but let's forget about that shit and let's remember about the wiener hat, Gabe. Good. Great friend. Awesome friend.
Both?
Great hero.
Why not both?
How about just first the care package?
No, okay, listen. Whoa. Hey. Number one, I take responsibility and I apologize for not sending the package yet. We're out of hoodies. They're being printed right now. Once they're printed, and now I also don't know. When are you going to be in Vegas?
April 7th.
April 7th. Okay, so I will have. You know what? I will self-deliver the care packages to you and Jake. In Vegas.
Are you going to forget? Are you sure about that?
I don't think you let me forget. Just like I won't forget about your wiener hat.
Are you not just sure, but HIV positive that you're going to remember my care package as well as the wiener hat? I'll take the wiener hat. We'll negotiate. I'll take the wiener hat and I'll happily put it on. But I want to also put on the greatness that is a Kajuja MMA and Fitness shirt.
All right. So how about this?
Yes.
You are miraculously going to fall asleep. When you wake up, you'll be wearing a Kaiju hoodie and a nice wiener hat.
I think I can make that work.
All right, cool.
All right.
You can make it work for sure.
Let's virtually shake hands on it.
That is a, yep, it's on. There you go.
I touched my dick before I did that. Oh, gay. Oh, that's right. Oh, I win.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is gay.
All right,
Abs-
guys, that was 5 topics. Brought to you by good friends at Bucked Up Energy. That was 5 topics. Holy shit, this was a good return episode. Holy
See?
fuck.
You said it was going to be a throwaway. I thought it was a good one. I think it was.
You just gotta get the training wheels off, Like you gotta like just fucking dive right back into it. And if it's worth it, let me work it. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Like this felt good. This felt good on the whole,
It wasn't bad. I thought it was bad at all.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
We got Jake Hatton on the phone for a call. That was pretty good.
For a hot minute, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, we got a little bit of Jake Hatton in here. So
and I want to also thank everybody for still tuning in and staying so loyal to us. Obviously, this was all my fault. Stuff going on in my personal life, splitting with the ex and
it happens.
moving to Vegas, catching up on life circumstances. And you know what? Like shit happens, And I want to thank everybody. And I also want to thank all the team members of fucking Fight World Live. And we just got a new sponsor with Amazon Audible, which is going to be premiering, which is going to be debuting next week. A lot of good things in the works. So this was me essentially catching up on life and priorities and all that fucking shit. And it feels good. It feels fucking good. Maybe one day I'll get fucking the dating thing down packed. I mean, Gabe, look how fucking terrible I am. Ladies hitting me up saying, "Oh, yeah, you never read my messages or everything." I say, I apologize, but how are you? She's like, "I'm doing good, and you?" And I didn't respond back. There's some shit that I won't get in line. There's some shit that I need to work on, but don't worry about it. Everything is going to be in its proper place, its proper cubby hole. Like just working on my priorities, enjoying life again, happy again with my buddy, four-time world champion, Mr. Gabe, who also owns one of the best gyms on the fucking earth, on this blue marble called Earth. Where's that gym located? I believe it's located in
that is in beautiful Tarzana, California. Kaiju MMA and Fitness, best gym in the galaxy, at least this galaxy, from what I know. I say top 5 at least.
And if you sign up for a class, you get a free one, and you got to train with a BJJ black belt and a 4-time world champion. Is that correct, sir?
I got you covered, 100%. We got both those in the room at all times.
Absolutely. He's got him covered like a tampon.
Right.
Condom, shit. I got to work on my one-liners. They'll come back. Don't worry. So, final words, final thoughts from the 4-time. Obviously, we have Spot Monkey Radio coming up next. And after this, every single episode that you missed, when I've been on a hiatus and I had to go on a vision quest, every single episode that's been recorded will be airing and streaming individually on Fight World Live on Amazon Prime. Contractually obligated, don't want Amazon to sue me, so we're going to hit you with all that content. It's going to be coming up right after Spot Monkey Radio. But final words and final thoughts from the four-time world champion and the best buddy and big brother a guy could ask for, Mr. Gabe. Gabe, what say you, good sir?
Well, first off, not a throwaway show. Great show. Like getting you going. I'll be happy to have you on the West Coast, Potter. It'll be nice to get close so I can sink that choke in so deep, hold you so tight, watch you go to sleep.
Ring, ring. Gabe, you're going to be choking me when I'm holding the phone and peeling the hand.
Let's see how well you can do it. I mean, I am more than willing to see how well your back defense is.
I do not want to see how well I'm doing against fucking 4-time world champion Mr. Gabe. I don't like that idea, Gabe, and if we can avoid that, that'd be great. Just get my sweatshirt and I'll take the wiener hat. Just give me my sweatshirt. Don't choke me to death. That'd be fucking perfectly fine.
All right, as long as we get the wiener hat on, how we get it on is what's important. But yeah, so let's keep it going, and hopefully next time we have Mr. Hatton, maybe some other guests as well. See what's going on in the fight world.
Live. All right, so coming up next in just about 15 minutes will be Spot Monkey Radio. Then after that, you'll see all the episodes being uploaded individually. Slat News, Bitches and Brawlers, the Weekly Bus, all these great fucking episodes. So, boys and girls, all my bros and hoes in different area codes, we'll see you next week for Fight World Live. Tune in for Spot Monkey Radio. That's coming up next. We'll check you later. Peace.
As we previously reported, it is now official. Endeavor announcing WWE and UFC will combine to form a $21 billion global live sports and entertainment company, while Vince McMahon will be the executive chairman.
Welcome to the weigh-in.
Take your bra off and take it off now.
Alhamdulillah. Everything God gave me.
You and God versus me. Screw you! You're fired!
It's hard to be told that your career is over when you don't think you did anything wrong.
You do want to be employed, don't you? It's a kiss my ass. Join the club! You're gonna do it?
Hey, this is the fight business. People say nasty things, right? But the tension between those two and kind of the racial undertones and all those things, how do you...
Get out! Get out!
There's also some news out of Australia that Sean Strickland punched a fan.
Quite frankly, you look more my type. What the hell is going on here?
A woman in a towel.
Bark like a dog, come on. Heal! Heal this woman's breast! Heal this woman's voluptuous breast! You feel it? I feel it! No! Hey, look at it! Oh my God!
Recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Left foot.
In the mirror when he's saying in the middle of the hand on the foot of an emotional terror. I double S.E. will make my enemy public. I'm flipping hands up. Dancing for money! The devil let that morning.
We're back.
Welcome to Spot Monkey Radio. As always, I am Tony. That's Brandon. I guess Malik will be joining us shortly.
Yeah.
Back on Fight World Live. If you mess with me, I'll fight you. That was a thing we just watched.
I know. That was great. Shout out to whoever made that. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
You almost caught me like doing a spit take throughout the entire time.
I wonder why Vince McMahon got fired and everything like that.
Well, here's the thing is, you could totally see him doing that. Like the thing with Misha Tate and the towel. Or was it I always forget my women's MMA fighters, but
yeah.
That would totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's just I forgot all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why when all the allegations and all the rumors and all that stuff came out, I'm like, that's absolutely plausible.
I mean, yeah, once I heard that he was just an absolute animal, I was just like, oh, big surprise. Like watching the gimmick and everything, I was just like, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's just turned up to 11.
Yeah. Kind of took to it like a fish to water, didn't he?
Like a duck to water.
I think at some point he started to believe that he was Mr. McMahon.
Well, I just think when you're 70 plus years old, you're literally at the apex of your industry.
Yeah.
You sleep 3 hours a night and you work out 7 days a week. It takes a lot to get you going.
Yeah, how much TRT you think he was on too? So
Here's the thing. I probably think Vince is probably one of those guys who's all natural. But yeah, probably. I mean, he's again 70 something years old. Needs to, do the damn thing.
Well, rest in peace, Vince McMahon.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
They're gonna wipe him from the history.
Oh, I mean, unless he gets totally exonerated,
that ain't gonna happen. I mean, there's too much. I mean,
it's a lot of damning evidence.
Damning, don't you think? Like, kind of like fucked himself.
It's worse than Harvey Weinstein, I think.
It's the wrestling version of it, I think.
For sure.
But like, I mean, it would have to have been him. Like something this crazy. Like that's why I'm so shocked that it took this long. But again, it's like that guy from the LA Clippers that had to sell the team.
Donald Sterling.
Yeah, you just get too old and eventually you start slipping up.
You get caught slipping.
Yeah, you get sloppy and stupid.
Although
you shouldn't be doing this stuff. Let me just point that out.
You don't dot your I's and cross your T's on your NDAs, and you'd have missed some payments.
You shouldn't be doing any of that stuff that he did. Wrong and bad, and fuck him for that. But
no, it's literal human trafficking.
Yeah, and then he shit on her head, right?
Chest. I think it was a chest.
Jesus Christ, he gave.
I don't remember. It's the defecations. It gets weird. And like I said, I think I said in earlier episodes, there's probably more yet to come. And I was talking about this with Malik privately. I wouldn't be surprised if like Mania week there's another
this is gonna be crazy, dude.
Huge bombshell that either like the day before night one or the Sunday.
I saw they were trying to bury Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of people who are going to be complicit in that. I think because I think
they're basically saying that she covered everything up. She knew.
There's no way that Vince, Johnny Ace, and the party involved and all the parties were like people knew.
Yeah.
People knew, man. We've been in the wrestling business before.
Yeah. It's
everybody
like
knows
from,
everything.
The same thing with that guy from Penn State.
Yeah. Jerry Sandusky.
And everybody was hiding it and like burying it. And then the old guy had to like leave. I mean, he was leaving anyway, but like
he left and then he died.
Yeah.
He died like 3 weeks after he quit the job.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's it. They say once you retire, right?
Yeah. But again, he was also like way older than Vince.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today, buddy.
We do.
It's been a couple weeks since
It has been.
When was the last time we did this? Royal Rumble, that Royal Rumble watch along, right?
No, I think we did one after that. I feel like we did one after that.
We might have, because we might have talked about The Rock and everything, because he just came up, got like a wall stick, pushed Cody out the way, and then they corrected it.
Then they course corrected. They realized the backlash that they got, and were just like, "Oh, okay, this isn't going to work. We're going to have to go about this another way." Yeah.
I apologize ahead of time for what's going on upstairs, but
I do. You look like you have a nicer camera this time. Shout out to you.
I'm using my phone.
Oh,
I'm using my phone.
iPhone 15, gang.
Yeah.
What it is from what it ain't.
Hey, there he
Malik
is.
is here, everybody. He's just
Malik actually showed up at 7:00, not the 5 minutes when we went early.
No. I have company in. Obviously, I got some people here to watch things last match along with me. I'm the only person, the only dumbass out of the entire group that'll order such a show. But I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it.
Yeah. Is that what's on right now? It's on right now, or is it on tonight?
No. Well, the pre-show started at 6:30, which is bizarre to me. Why do we need an hour and a half for 3 matches when you could just give us the hour? We already watch the TV shows. You got 5 hours a week. I don't think that's necessary or needed for an hour and a half.
Everybody, look, they're trying to get everybody on the show. Like if you look at everybody who's involved,
they're doing a 12-man tag, which features the Bang Bang Scissor Gang taking on Jeff Jarrett's crew, taking on Private Party. And Willie Mack, you got a tag team match supposed to take with Willow Nightingale teamed up with Chris Statlander, take on Sky Blue and Julia Hart. That's the whole pre-show. I'm like, 2 matches for an hour and a half?
Yeah, but they do like all their hype video stuff. I have it on right now. It's all just been like hype videos and shit. I don't think I've actually. Granted, I just tuned in. But
like WWE, they're starting WrestleMania at 7:00 this year, which I'm totally okay with, because that means you're either going to go to 11:00 or you're going to go past that. I saw that there's like leaked cards already, and I think there's only 6 matches on each night of WrestleMania. It's wild to me because the last few pay-per-views were just filled with either 4 or 5 matches.
Yeah, well, I mean, Royal Rumble was always like that because it's two hour long matches.
But the chamber itself, I was not expecting it to be. I mean, the chamber matches itself go to at least from 45 to an hour, possibly.
Yeah, well, because you have to have everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
and
in there.
then they did a pre-show match. I don't think they did that for the Rumble.
Well, I mean, I don't really care about AEW. So if you guys want to,
do we want to do our preview now, or do we want to save it for
the only thing I know about is Sting's last match, right?
Okay, so the only things that interest me tonight would be obviously Sting's last match. I for me, you just want to see what's going to happen. I think the only last match that I did not care to see was the one from 2 years ago, being Ric Flair's last match. I said I just can't do it. I can't and I won't. I'd watch it live. It took me
when Ric Flair almost died in the ring.
It took. I wasn't when it finally went up somewhere for free. Then obviously I skimmed through it and I said, I think I made the right decision.
Oh yeah, no. You should. There was no reason to buy that show.
But yeah, the only thing that has to be obviously Sting's last match. He's 63 years old, 63, 64, taking on the Young Bucks. Darby Allin obviously is going to be the one taking the majority of the heat. If it happens the other way around, Sting may die in the ring. You got the triple threat match between Swerve, Samoa Joe, and Hangman Adam Page for the the World Championship. You have Daniel Garcia challenging for the TNT title up against Christian Cage. It's funny, I'm just remembering the majority of the show off of memory in my head. FTR taking on the BCC, not BBC, not me. The Blackpool. Yeah, I can't even say it because Brett is starting laughing. The Blackpool Combat Club, which they should just change their name and just be the Combat Club.
Yeah,
because nobody from that faction.
Guy from Blackpool is no longer in the company.
Yeah, like
just gotta.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be a street fight, from what I remember.
Call it the Aberdeen Combat Club.
With one guy from there.
Yeah, or wherever. Yeah, that's where Danielson's from, Aberdeen, Washington.
Would they get sued if they wanted to call themselves the Fight Club?
For sure. Fox would sue them because I'm pretty sure that's who owns the rights to Fight Club now.
What else they have on the card? They have a 8-man
scramble match,
all-star scramble match, which it was supposed to be a big meaty men slapping meat contest, but it went from it being from originally supposed to be 5 guys to a triple threat to them no longer doing it at all.
Yeah.
What happened to Edge?
I don't know if he's got something else to be filmed or they're doing the whole angle where he's out, but I think if he does show up tonight, he's probably going to cost Daniel Garcia. I mean, he's probably going to cost Christian the title, I think.
I mean, are you not tired of seeing Edge versus Christian?
They've been doing this since he's arrived.
Yeah.
AEW with certain stories, they tend to drag him out longer than need be. Like, for example, Hangman should have never fought Swerve again at any point in time. There should have been Samoa Joe and Swerve one-on-one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I strongly agree with you in that.
Do you think the other guy's going to come back? Friedman?
Not tonight.
Yeah, I doubt it.
How can you work an angle with a guy who's practically in a wheelchair still?
Yeah, and he's been off TV since this entire.
He was that hurt.
Yeah, he was pretty banged up.
Yeah, from the match with Jay White making things worse, and then just continue to work matches in general. Just put him more on the shelf. The last match, obviously, the last time you saw him was the World's End pay-per-view, and that was the second to last day of the year.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think we see MJF until probably they go to Wembley. That's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, that's a long time for him to be off TV. I think he
comes back. Going back there?
They'll be bank holiday weekend. Yeah, end of.
Yeah, like the end of August.
End of August. Labor Day week. That Labor Day weekend, sort of.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's enough time for him to recover. It'll probably be bigger than what he was, muscle mass and everything.
He's gonna come back like a genetic freak. What do you think?
Seriously, he's probably gonna come out with Shakira and Amadeus at that point.
It's all those matzo balls that he's gonna be eating.
Maybe even a tiger, quite possibly.
You turn him into Big Papa Pump. That'd be hilarious. We were just watching. You didn't catch it when you came in because you came in late, but on the feed there was this Vince McMahon promo thing.
It was if Vince McMahon owned UFC,
and it was just showing a bunch of of his old stuff that he did.
Like peak.
I forgot so much. I forgot so much of that shit. I couldn't believe it. That's crazy, bro. Right?
I just gotta ask one question since I feel like it's not really been touched on most of the time, but the feeling that what is it? Brock Lesnar's no longer. Is Brock Lesnar in the two? Is he? Can you use him as a playable character in the new game coming out this week?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was.
No, because I heard they're gonna wipe the WWE of him.
Yeah.
What?
And again, and he's one. I guess he's another one of those people. Unless there's a clear exoneration of all these allegations.
So Roman Reigns into the streak.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
Well, I think
Reigns
it's okay
eliminated
to let
the
Roman
greatest
Reigns do it. Roman Reigns is the
athlete in
tribal
sports
chief.
history.
So do we say that Triple H bought WWE from Vince's dad? Like, how does this stuff work now?
I would say that he's definitely the guy in charge now.
I think he's the de facto guy in charge of running the company.
The creative side of things and direction of storylines.
Yeah, and then there's probably other people in the background doing all the office shit.
I assume Nick Khan is doing all the office stuff still.
Yeah.
That's what I assume.
Yeah. And then Ari Gold is above him.
Yeah.
From Entourage.
Like,
that's what I thought.
Every time you look up and turn around, somebody's talking about the Vince allegations. I'm just like, bro, at this point, some people shouldn't see this as a surprise. Like, most recently, I decided to tune in and tap into listening to Shane Douglas's podcast. And he made mention and spoke about how he never mentioned any guys' names because he knew to be careful there. But, one of the things that they would use on these, I can't remember what it was that they used, would basically roofie these chicks and just have their way with them. Because there was that was the kind of culture that they had back then within wrestling. But I'm just like, it's a thing that's been going on forever, sadly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people in charge, so is The Rock now. The Rock is
a member of the board of directors.
The board of directors of TKO. Now he's on the thing. And like I said, last time we talked, me and Brandon were talking about how he just kind of strong arm Cody into a match with Roman, and we liked the direction they went.
How it was a bad idea.
Yeah, and I guess.
Okay. Go ahead, continue.
Well, I just think it was a smart play because they knew people kind of turned on the idea of Rock versus Roman, right? So it was smart.
I don't think they turned on the idea of Rock versus Roman. I think they turned on the idea of Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania with this being the build.
Yeah.
With Cody giving up his spot to The Rock so he could be in the match.
That's the issue right there. The way it was presented without saying any words,
100%.
Is that it looked that way.
Yeah.
However, everybody's getting fired up and getting angry before finding out what's going to happen next. I'm like, let's see where there goes. Let's see what they're cooking. Did that on purpose.
I caught that. Yeah, that was funny. I like the fact that we got Hollywood Rock back now, though.
Is that Hollywood Rock or is this old school?
I think it's a little bit of Hollywood Rock. I think it's a little bit of.
It definitely is.
Corporate Rock meets Hollywood Rock.
Yeah. Because you know what I feel like? I feel like when he was Hollywood Rock, he was much more animated and flamboyant in terms of his promos.
Wisecracky.
Like this one, he's very monotone and serious. Talks very slow. It reminds me of those first promos when he joined the Nation. That's what kind of reminds me of.
And he's wearing the $5,000 Versace shirt.
Did he tell the audience to go smoke crack?
He did, and he had to apologize for it apparently.
So these last upcoming weeks, I've not really got to. I think the only thing I've watched live has been Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I try to watch AEW is watching me.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough sleep, so I should be able to watch it. When watching AEW, is starting to reminisce of TNA in 2008 through a certain period. I mean, the main event Mafia days, I stayed awake for that because that was great shit to me.
It was aces. It was aces and eights that did it for me. That's what soured me on TNA. That was they were very clearly trying to recapture the NWO, but with the
Sons of Anarchy style.
Sons of Anarchy was super popular at the time, so they're gonna we can't do the same exact thing.
Bubba Ray's gonna have a storyline with Brooke,
and I'm sure all those guys are into motorcycle culture.
I've never seen Bubba Ray ride one motorcycle. by the way.
All right, back to the WrestleMania thing. The whole idea. Okay, so now so now to me, I think by them doing a tag match is kind of paying tribute to the first ever main event of WrestleMania. That's one of the things that I see. I feel like this WrestleMania show is going to have some similar things that happened in previous years. Obviously, WrestleMania 10, you had Bret and Owen. This is the 30th 30-year anniversary of that match taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other brother versus brother match that they had was at WrestleMania 25 between Jeff Hardy and Matt.
Yeah.
So now you go 15 years later, and we're definitely having Jimmy versus Jay. And people just feel like there's no crazy build to it, but I'm just like, there have been little things here and there of where we got them to square off. And it'll be a big enough video package with all the years of them obviously working together, and then the betrayal happened. You know, it's more than enough to build up to this match.
Yeah.
But if it's me, if I'm putting anybody over, I'm putting Jimmy over because Jay doesn't need it.
But Jimmy's funny though.
Yeah, no, he is.
He's pretty funny.
Always getting his ass whipped.
Yeah, he's like the underling though.
Yes.
Yeah.
By them doing this tag match and the stipulation being that if Cody and Seth win, Roman Reigns and Cody get to go at it at night 2 1-on-1 without any type of interference from the bloodline.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that the rumors that Tama Tonga may be joining WWE, I don't think that they would put him in that story.
No, yeah.
I do find it interesting that there are no original Bullet Club members in New Japan anymore.
Is he related to? He's not related to them.
He's Haku's son, so they're like tangentially related.
If I'm not mistaken, he's Haku's adopted son of that.
Oh, I'd see that. I didn't know.
He's the adopted one, and Tongaloa is his actual son.
His naturalized son. I did
Yes.
not know that.
Biological son, yeah. I mean, to me, they're all family in a way, and they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to bat an eye to it. I do find it strange that they have yet to put a single female in the bloodline, but realistically, I don't think it's needed. I mean, if they wanted to put, I don't think Nia Jax would be the right person to put in the group to strong arm, but it would be the most believable because of how big she is over the other girls.
Yeah. Do you think The Rock's going to turn? I think they're going to win night 1, and then night 2 they're going to have like a disagreement, and The Rock's going to just like rock bottom them.
I feel like when they lose, it's because The Rock takes that L. And who better to chastise him and talk down to him than his little cousin?
Yeah, Roman Reigns. That's true.
So, why not?
Yeah, I kind of like where it's going. It's made me excited for WrestleMania. I'll tell you that.
To me, it's a different feel. Like, we were used to the days of, let's say, back 20 years ago when you watched Survivor Series, and they had the brand split as well. But you saw Goldberg and Brock Lesnar face to face. You're like, all right, at some point they're going to give us this match, and we were not happy when we got it the first time.
We weren't happy when we got it the second time either.
The second match was better than the first one, if we're being fair.
Real dog shit.
Wasn't the second match like a 20-second squash match?
Oh no! Well, I'm sorry. The third match.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The third match. My bad.
The second one was at that Survivor Series when they just
I'm thinking of the 2 WrestleMania matches. I'm sorry.
You're referring to Lesnar versus Goldberg, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how could I even say that since it didn't happen? My bad.
He fought twice at WrestleMania.
No, I said it. Me.
Okay.
I'm saying it never happened in the sense of since they're doing away with Brock Lesnar.
They fought at WrestleMania 20, then they did Survivor Series 2016, and then they did another
WrestleMania 33.
33, yeah.
They wrestled at WrestleMania. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was probably like 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
From bell to bell, it had to be like anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes.
If anybody should have one last match and never come back, it should be Goldberg. Do us a favor. Stay away. Matter of fact, don't have your last match. Just don't come back.
Just don't. We don't. No one's clamoring for a Goldberg retirement match other than Goldberg and probably his kid.
Yeah, Goldberg's like, I want to be a superhero. Shut up. It's like, shut up, Goldberg, stupid idiot.
So at this point, we're like, all right, what's gonna happen here? I don't feel like the story. Okay, Rhea Ripley is gonna shine no matter what up against Becky Lynch. I just want Becky to win, and I'm afraid that's going to happen.
Here's the thing: is I think Rhea might win and then turn face.
At this point, she is a face.
Yeah, because she's over.
Oh,
I mean, granted, they did the last pay-per-view in her home country, and she hasn't been back there and wrestled in person ever since she's been with the company. So, yeah, she's gonna get a hella like popular response.
She's getting the love that Becky was getting when Becky first stated she's the man and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, with that being said, I know one thing's for sure: I won't be watching that match.
I mean, could one of the reasons be because we love Rhea Ripley's gear?
We're into muscle mommies. We can admit it.
Now, you just said something very interesting. You said that she's getting the reaction that Becky used to get when she was the man.
Yes.
And I like to believe that's because that Gummy's time is come and gone. It's like Rhea's time now, isn't it? Like when she was
absolutely.
I mean, she also did leave, come back as a heel, and then
I'm just saying.
And some of that stuff got stale.
Yeah. Gets stale real quick because they're not good.
One of the females that's going to be fast rising for sure, as long as she doesn't get hurt, is Tiffany Stratton. She I don't want to say she's the second coming of Charlotte. I believe that she'll be her own, but people will start comparing her to Charlotte.
She's at least on par as an athlete as Charlotte is.
Yes, absolutely.
Whether that she has the charisma or not,
good luck, I guess. Who gives a shit, right?
I mean,
such a brilliant attitude towards that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, my lady. My lady, giving me some water. Now Seth Rollins is fighting Drew McIntyre. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's a night 2 match.
It would have to be because The Rock that's gonna be the main event. Obviously, tag team, man.
I mean, here's the thing: if Drew loses, then what?
Yeah.
I don't think Drew loses. I think Drew wins and then Priest cashes in.
Yo, we talk about revenge.
That actually would be pretty good. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, because he's had this briefcase.
I think all of Judgment Day is kind of turning babyface with the exception of Dominic Mysterio. But I think that's just becoming fun to boo him now.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I can't see JD McDonough as a babyface.
No, that guy, you know what the funny thing is? That guy does have a giant head.
He does.
He really does.
I do. I forgot who called him big head or some shit, but I agreed with him 100%.
Gunther.
Yeah. His head literally, it looks like a pop figure.
Yeah. He's a human Funko Pop.
Yeah.
At this point,
won't they just kick his ass out then? Like, get out of here, bum.
I don't know, and I feel like if the goal is to do R-Truth and Miz to take the tag titles from Balor and Priest, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I think they ran their course being tag champions. And
I was just reading that they're going to separate those belts again.
Oh my god!
Yeah, put one on SmackDown, one on Raw again.
Oh.
Nah, I'm just telling you what I read.
Well, if it does happen that way, this is all Vince's fault to begin with.
I know, what an idiot.
To unify these things.
He's too busy. He's too busy eating too much protein so he can shit on people's chests.
Cleveland steamer.
Yeah. The guy take it.
There's
I ate a lot of Taipei. What?
There's only 4 Mania matches that have been announced, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Technically. That 5th match was a challenge thrown out there, so we have to wait to see if that's actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
With Seth and Cody taking on Rock and Roll.
They're going to agree. That's obviously going to happen. They're going to agree to that.
Do we take the IC title off Gunther or WrestleMania?
To give it to who, though?
That's
the problem. Who do you give it to?
I feel like you don't need to give somebody like Sami Zayn.
No, but I think that's a good redemption. But he won the tag titles last year, WrestleMania with Kevin Owens. I think he had his moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think get put in a kind of title does really nothing for him.
If it was me, I would say Chad Gable. But how seriously can you take him?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
once you get over, I noticed once you get over something silly like shoosh,
and the thank you,
it's kind of like you got to work uphill.
Yeah,
you know, you're already kind of pigeonholing yourself. He's like shoosh, thank you, and now people are like, that's all you're known for, buddy. You know, like he's the shoosh guy.
And the thing is, he's a great athlete. He has good matches. You can't say a negative thing about him. It's just the way they put his character. It's like You're a clown 1 minute, and then you're serious the next. What am I supposed to be working with here?
What a woman you are.
He's like Kurt Angle light.
You know, I'm kind of glad you made mention of Kurt Angle.
Thank you.
It just so happened that Darby Allin. I don't know if it's true. If Darby Allin
He didn't name Kurt Angle by name, but he just said it's like unfortunate that people get hurt and they have to take the paycheck to wrestle somebody they don't want to wrestle with instead of doing what they would want. And he's like, he kind of calls it like a bitch move, essentially. He didn't call Kurt Angle by name, but it's like heavily implied.
So we can only make an ass of ourselves and assume that he's talking about Kurt.
I mean, connect the dots.
All I did was I went to my newsfeed on Facebook and I was just like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Who is this between? I'm sorry.
Darby Allin, I guess, made comments pertaining to Sting, I guess, having his last match. And I guess Sting being allowed to go out the way that he wants to. Whereas everybody knows Kurt Angle did not go out the way he wanted to.
Kurt Angle was essentially forced out.
Yeah, Kurt Angle lost to Corbin, right?
Corbin. And his body could barely work through a match anymore.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he say he's like 4 inches shorter because all the fusions and shit?
Yeah, and he has like
got gorilla arms. I call them gorilla arms because they just don't move; they just hang at the sides now.
Yeah,
he says he's in pain all the time.
Yeah, you can tell because he basically can't move.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, I just want to know everybody know that I'm a warrior. I have a ocular migraine. It hurts so bad right now.
Oh
just
my! Look at you,
my eyes.
Look at you, and the bright lights and everything.
It's not good, but I'm.
You're a
braving
trooper
it because of Spot Monkey Radio, and I know
what a trooper. Thank you, Tone. Thank you, Tone. Thank you, Tone.
Wanted my flowers. Thank you, Brandon.
I wanted my flowers.
What a fucking trooper.
I can't even laugh. It hurts. Anyway, one of the topics we'll just kind of transition from wrestling because you only said there's only 4 matches. Really, not much to talk about unless you want to speculate some other matches. You want to predict some?
Speculation.
Yeah, right. I assume that maybe you get your Kevin Owens matches or whatever, right? And like these simple ones or whatever, they'll fill out the sparkle out two nights or whatnot, right?
I mean, it makes sense. Like again, he's obviously going to want to play a part of it somehow. It's just a question of what he's going to do. I could see he's one that I could see facing Gunther, but you'd have to make it work. I think what Owens will end up doing is doing something with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
You know what match I noticed that is obviously happened. I don't think we talked about it. Was Randy Orton versus Logan Paul. That's obviously going to happen at WrestleMania because of Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think that could be extended to like a multi-man match.
Yeah. I think I don't even think I think Randy Orton could have a really good one-on-one with him. And I think he would teach that kid a lot in one match, especially WrestleMania. Well, just imagine like the athletic RKO that would have like that Austin Theory one that they just did on Friday. That was a pretty sick RKO.
Yeah.
So I would assume that Logan Paul would give it his all. That's gonna rhyme. Logan Paul's gonna give it his all for that RKO at the end because that's like become a thing too now. Randy Orton like these like almost like highlight reel RKO moments at the big shows.
Yeah, where they're like, how can we top each one?
Sorry about that. Busted through this damn door like he was the Hulk. Brother, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, there was speculation that would be a multi-man match for one of those titles, whether it be the U.S. title or for the Intercontinental title.
I think Intercontinental makes more sense because you can kind of take the belt off Gunther without actually beating Gunther.
Yes, but if you do that, what does it do for anybody?
Yeah.
Logan Paul loses the U.S. title, it won't hurt him.
That's true.
In any way. And if you would do a ladder match, it'd be interesting to have AJ Styles and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and Logan Paul and whatever other 2 people they possibly put in that match.
LA Knight, I think, is going to be in there.
Oh yeah, LA Knight. I always forget him. Yeah.
Now
Dummy. Mysterio's back. It's most likely going to be him and Santos Escobar.
Oh yeah.
101.
Yeah. The mask match with the hair.
Yeah.
hair versus mask, straight up luchador style.
Yes, because if we take the mask off Rey Mysterio,
And he's like, "Ole Levato, when I beat you at WrestleMania, I take your mask, you got nothing." Right? That's about right. Come on. Then at least hit a base hit.
I can't with you sometimes.
Sorry.
Your fucking cholo voice.
I pressed the wrong button because of that. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm very sorry. I just, sometimes can't help myself. You got kind of.
You just throw off the entire rhythm of the show.
You lobbed that one right off the plate. I had to jump into that one. I know we never really talk about this, so I'm going to bring this up real quick. And that's TNA Wrestling and what they, or the owners or whatever it is, what they did to Scott D'Amore. I think that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And there was like a sort of like mini rebellion too.
Yeah.
Well, I think the word was that he was trying to buy the company, I guess, for the second time. That wasn't the first time he was trying to go out of his way to buy the company. I think later on, I think when they brought him back to TNA again, or Impact, whatever you want to call it, they made him promise that he wouldn't try that again. And I guess his fate would have it, he attempted again, maybe? That's just the word going around.
Oh. I mean, he loves TNA. I mean, the guy loves TNA.
I thought it was probably going to have something to do with his the Giselle show, if I'm not mistaken, they're in a relationship. So I thought maybe it would have something to do with that, but it doesn't.
Jesus Christ. Scott D'Amore.
Like
I said, I feel bad for Scotty. I thought he was doing good things with TNA. I think people were very, very happy with him in terms of.
He literally kept the company from going out of business.
Yeah, he did a really good job with that place when it was literally just a toilet.
He found a way to turn it around.
Yeah.
Most people had always said TNA was going to be the promotion that didn't exist, and here we are over 20 years later, and it's still around.
I just watched yesterday. We were at House of Glory. I watched Mustafa Ali, the X Division champion, against Alex Shelley. It was pretty good.
Okay.
It wasn't bad to me. Out of that whole show, the show was stacked. They had a lot of talent from AEW and TNA. But they did have some, stinkers, and I don't want to say people by name, but this is my opinion. Obviously, it's not to reflect House of Glory's opinion, but their champion is not that good. That's one, and their women's champion is even worse. Those are the two worst matches of the whole night.
Man, I'll never say so.
That's all I'm saying.
What do
I
you
was
want
watching,
to talk about?
and I watched it from 3 different angles, so I'm just telling you what I saw. There's a couple guys. I mean, listen. Since we're kind of like I said, we're in the no man's land at this point, but I want to put over guys like Nolo Catano. I know he wrestles for the MLW and he wrestles for House of Glory. I like that guy. I think that guy's very good. And then there's this young kid out there named Raheem Royal. Did you ever see him work?
No.
Comes out on like a scooter thing and he just rolls. What is those things called? Hoverboard. Very high fly, obviously, but he does it. He's like I think he's gonna be like the next kind of Ricochet type guy. If he doesn't get injured, hopefully. Because it just looks like he makes it look fucking easy. He makes it look effortless. The way he bounces around and flips and everything like that. It's pretty impressive. But House of Glory to me was always like the premier place in New York. To me, where mostly top talent went to. So it was a pretty good show.
They're the one that's still around. So
yeah. And my favorite luchador of the era right now was their Pentagon. He fought the champion. Yeah, he was going, Miedo, I come here for that fucking belt. That's what he said. It was pretty funny.
Did he smell like Aqua Velva?
I don't know. I was very far away. You got to ask my
You were close enough to get a whiff this time?
Yeah, no.
The tons of aftershave he douses himself.
Yeah,
with.
he was he came out in his Joker gear. So that was pretty cool to see in person.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the show, you want to know what it was?
Sure.
When Dan Housen brought out Q from Impractical Jokers. I actually popped. Me and my girl popped. Oh shit, Q! That was pretty funny. And I don't know if you guys know Sweet Cheeks. He comes out with the lollipop, people's mouths.
Yes.
Yeah. Dan Housen fought him.
He's hilarious to see.
Yeah, and then he put the lollipop in Q's mouth, and Q fell, and it was so he did. Q's a very good manager. If you ever thought about transitioning from Impractical Jokers into wrestling, he did a very good job yesterday.
I mean, he's a performer.
Yeah, he did a very, very good job. I was very impressed, like highly impressed with his work. Dan Housen is funnier in person. Like he was in character the whole fucking time.
Oh, that's awesome.
the whole time. Like we were there setting up, and he was just walking. Hello, how you doing?
I'm Danhausen. Very
He
nice.
was very
evil.
funny. Yeah, very funny. He was very funny.
Did you bring teeth as an offering for him?
He did use the teeth in the jar. He poured it down the guy's mouth and then hit him with his finish. It was pretty funny. And then Q bent over and picked it up and put it in his pocket. The teeth. That was pretty funny. I don't know why. It just made me laugh. But all in all, House of Glory was a very good show. But like I said, I saw a lot of TNA guys. In fact, I saw Speedball there last time. So, like, they had a lot of talent. And I know a lot of them are a little disgruntled now that Scott D'Amore is gone. And I wonder if they're going to leave, which brings us into one of the topics that you mentioned, which was free agency and where all these guys are potentially going to land.
Before we go completely over there, one of the latest rumors pertaining to TNA is potentially going over to Full Sail and recording live shows.
Yeah, I read that too.
That's going to be very interesting because I feel like we are going to see more crossovers of WWE going over and working matches against TNA.
I gotta give him his Matt, who when we were driving down to the show yesterday, he told me interesting theory that he thinks that WWE is going to have a working relationship with TNA, and whenever they have guys like they're like, we don't know what to do with this guy, he just doesn't work in NXT or anything, they'll just like kind of let him go.
Send
TNA.
him out on loan.
Yeah, like kind of like they did with ECW back in the old days. And just kind of let them reinvent. Like I think Mustafa Ali will reinvent himself enough to probably get a second.
I like this whole politician gimmick that he's got.
It was very. He had the whole crowd was he had the meat out of the palm of his hand. So he just like he just has to work a little bit out of the business, reinvent himself, come up with something good, and then he'll go back with that, just like the way Cody did, the way Drew, the way
with him.
Jinder.
With him, I think he was trending in that right direction, and then they gave him that stupid gimmick, the stable retribution stable, and he very clearly was not happy with that. And then that soured him on it, and he was just like, fuck this, when's my contract leaving? Fucking fire me or something.
I mean, he's already the X Division champion. He walked into a sold out House of Glory building and they were going bananas for him. And him, another thing too is I was never a big TNA guy, or at least X Division guy, with the exception of AJ Styles, obviously. But there was another exceptional guy that I always loved because of Kevin Nash, and that was Alex Shelley. And to see how good he still is after all these years, it's impressive to see that he's got quite a resume on him.
Him and Saban
Saban too. No, Chris Saban was another good one, And I always like I said, I had a small handful of guys from the X Division that I enjoyed watching. There were some guys that I like you couldn't pay me to get like Sanjay Dutt. No, get the fuck out of here. Like I don't give a fuck about guys like that. But like
not a big low key guy.
No, Jesus Christ. No. Cure for fucking.
I mean, you were probably a fan of Petey Williams.
I liked him when he got with Scott Steiner.
That's exactly what
I thought that was funny. And I still to this day blame him for the Canadian Destroyer. So.
Well, I mean, people just keep doing it, and it doesn't matter.
No,
that's the issue.
Dude, it's crazy. Yesterday they did. I don't know if it was Mustafa Ali, was these other high flyer guys. They did 3 in a row. It was a regular one, then one off like a springboard, and then one like another one, like within the span of like 3 minutes, not even.
Did different people do it, or
no? It was only one match, bud. I wish
the same guy doing it to another guy.
No, it was one guy did it to his opponent. Then his opponent did it back to him.
Okay.
And then he reversed it and did it again.
See, that I have no problem with because they're just.
I do because it's a flipping fucking pile driver, and it should be a finish.
My thing is the pile driver itself can kill you.
It should be an absolute finish, no matter
what. One false move.
Exactly.
Way,
and you're flipping.
So I understand where Tony's coming from.
That's all I'm saying.
I also understand that in this day and age, certain
it doesn't matter.
things of wrestling do not matter anymore, and they're not the same anymore. And I know we should roll with the times.
Listen, when I watch this stuff
hard
now,
to do when you're like, that's not believable. That's not.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because sometimes I'll watch it with an open mind. I'll just be like, listen, I'm accepting it for what it is nowadays because it's not about, you want to call it storytelling, whatever you want to call it, but it's not about that no more. It's about who's more athletic, me or you. Who's going to be faster? Who's going to be quicker? Who's going to be more death-defying, if you will.
Like one of the things, and these big moves get hit, and guys sometimes don't even go for pens. It's like the objective is to win the match.
It's to win, exactly.
It is like nobody's going to these things.
Like yesterday, dude, there was this thing. This fucking guy goes to the top rope, and this guy is just standing there waiting for him.
He should have been disqualified.
Not selling. He's not selling up. He's not selling around. He's just literally standing there, feet planted, with his arms out, waiting for this guy to jump. And the guy didn't have his feet set yet, so he's kind of balancing himself on the ropes while this idiot is just standing there going, "Whenever you're ready." Like, it was just fucking crazy. It was crazy.
Right there, ready to catch him.
Yeah, don't worry, nothing's gonna happen.
I think that's more on the guy who couldn't get his feet set on time than.
Oh, it was so annoying. It's so annoying. So fucking annoying. When you see shit like that, and you're just like, I didn't really have a long wrestling career, but I know that. I know you have to sell up, or at least continue to sell if you see him struggling. Gotta help the guy.
Yeah,
just stand there and wait. Drop down on one knee, sell your head, and then get back up when you see him get up.
Do the Ed Jones.
Oh my God, was it fucking crazy, dude? It was mind blowing, mind blowing. And then, but that's the funny thing is, you see that shit on TV all the time too. That's not just some indie thing. So if you think I'm knocking indies, that happens on AEW all the time. That happens on TNA, and I've seen it a few times in WWE now.
But at least WWE is good with masking it because they'll cut to like other things.
That's that's how I learned. You cut around. Like, you just try to make it seem like it's exciting by using the cuts.
Now, Tony, you had initially transitioned or attempted to, and I fucking ran it back. Transition over to the free agency. So obviously, we know that Tama Tonga, Okada, Mercedes Moné, better known as Sasha Banks.
Money.
He gets me every time with that shit. Who else is a free agent?
I don't know, because everybody mostly signed now, didn't they?
Those are the big three or four.
Because it's crazy. Like, New Japan has been stripped of all their major talent.
But you knew that was going to happen eventually.
It took a while, though.
Yeah, no, obviously, but eventually it was going to come for them. Like, they were living the large.
It really started to hit by 2019.
Yeah.
Once Omega was gone, once the Bucks were gone.
But I felt like once the internet kind of started booming with wrestling, and the secret was out about New Japan, and you could readily get it with the app and everything like that. That's when it was just like, all right, let's start. You're eventually going to start seeing these guys. It's only a matter of time, and that's what happened. Now it's starting to happen. These guys have options. I mean, where would you want to see Okada anyway? I mean, I thought he signed with AEW.
I think it's all but official that it signs with AEW, and I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up tonight. Would not be surprised. I don't think he will, but I would not be surprised if he shows up tonight.
When does Will Ospreay show up?
Ospreay debuts tonight. He's facing Takeshita.
Okay.
He was already on an episode of Dynamite doing a promo. I think he joined the Don Callis group, so I don't know how that works, how they're going to fight each other, but they're still technically faction mates.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's going to be weird, but I think Okada will go to AEW because of his relationship with Matt and Nick.
Okay. What do you think about the other idiot? Because I thought they said she was going to show up in Boston.
She's they're doing a show in Boston. They're doing the CM Punk. The same thing that was CM Punk. They're running the fucking garden in Boston or whatever it's called now, the Titty Bank.
Titty Bank.
Titty Bank. Titty Bank.
Who was the other guy? Tama Tonga is obviously going to WWE.
Tama Tonga, I think, it fits more of a fit to WWE.
Yeah, I think he's WWE bound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Alexander was in the last year of his contract.
But I don't think he's going to resign. Did he resign?
All the stuff that happened with Scott D'Amore, he was one of the people that was like
ready to resign
about that.
Yeah.
No, they had an extension in his contract and they triggered it. So
he can't leave.
So he's at least there for another year.
They fucking franchised his ass.
They franchise tagged him.
Wow, they gave him the tag. Poor guy. Because he was like, I want out.
I'm done.
I'm done.
You fired my fellow countrymen.
Yeah. You motherfuckers.
Who are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Josh Alexander.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw that he re-signed for a little while longer.
No, again, they didn't re-sign him. They extended his contract because they had an option, a 1-year option.
Wow.
That was what I read.
He's the guy that
he'll phone it in for the next 8 months.
He's the guy that I don't think he'll phone it in. He's the guy that I think like WWE like, oh, look at this guy.
Well, WWE, I think he would fit great WWE.
I think they would get him, but what are they going to do with him?
The problem is he's got no personality.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was the guy that was with Ethan Page, right? When they were called the North. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Ethan Page did probably most of the talking, I assume.
For sure.
Ethan Page was the one who had the charisma and still does. Just AEW, has a roster of 1 million and use the same, recycle the same 20. So,
yeah.
That's why there are guys, obviously, that are part of that company, but are doing more things on the indie scene as opposed to on the company. If you don't get to wrestle for Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, or freaking Ring of Honor, what are you doing? You have to do something.
You gotta get paid somehow.
He goes on YouTube and collects toys. I watch his videos all the time. Nice toy hunts, Ethan Page. Nice toy hunts. Same thing with Matt Cardona. That guy's such a fucking nerd. It's sickening sometimes.
Well, I mean, because you see what you would do if you had his resources.
Oh, if I had his financial money, I'd have so many more toys than what I have now.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
All right. One of the things that I wanted to mention before my girlfriend rudely interrupted me is the fact that the big show that the AEW has aside from tonight is coming up on March 13th, which
day after my birthday, by the way.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks is from Boston.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like we were saying. They're doing the CM Punk thing with her.
They also know that, or it's been said that one of the people that I think worked for WWE at one point is now coming on board, I think, to be, I don't know if she's as a writer or something, Pepperton or something like whatever her name is.
Yeah, I saw that. She was like the head of the writers division, the writers for the women.
So maybe
she was one of the, like, part of the women's revolution or some shit, right?
Yeah. So and I promise saying she's a good buddy with Mercedes Moné.
We need to get that for a drop.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, let's see what happens here. Let's see if the women's division gets any better because it is.
I mean, Toni Storm hasn't been bad. Like, it's at least interesting.
There's something Toni Storm I'm not too crazy about.
It's a funny character.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it's not. As a person who loves and adores comedy, but then there's some things where like, all right, at some point I got to take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I just think like she had this idea, and their AEW's policy when it comes to creative is just like, sure, do it. You have this idea, do it. Here's the television platform to do it.
Exactly. One of the major things is, hey girls, if you're gonna go out there and you want your cheeks out there, put them out.
Speaking of cheeks, Julia Hart and Sky Blue are in the ring right now.
See, there you go. See, I'm not wrong there, cheeks.
If you see me looking over, that's what I'm looking at.
God, anyway, I guess the show's starting in 15 minutes.
Yes.
Main show. So let's wrap this up so you guys can enjoy your.
So I can go find an illegal stream.
AEW, I guess.
I love his honesty.
If anybody knows of any streams where Brandon can watch it for free, please.
Oh, I know where to look. I just,
Pirate's Life for him.
Yar.
Malik is a good, upstanding citizen and probably paid for it.
Well, I also have
right on my DVR. There it is.
Yeah.
I have Spectrum. I don't think it's available on Spectrum.
It is.
So
anyway,
I mean, it's crazy that let's see. Ever since I moved into this apartment, I have pretty much every AEW pay-per-view still on my DVR.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
And
taking up space.
Everybody hoards shit their own way.
Yeah,
all right.
I pay for this, so that's different.
That's what I'm saying. It's even worse.
The one that I paid for that I didn't say that I actually wanted to watch again and to show my roommate was the fucking Wembley show, and I didn't record it like a dumbass. So there.
One time.
Like,
anyway, follow the boys. Malik, what is your wrestling channel?
I Love Wrestling History.
I Love Wrestling History.
I try to update it as much as I can.
Yeah, he always posting some great history clips of pro wrestling. Follow Brandon at the Brandon All Hope and Apparently Nothing. Follow Legend Series, please. That's my other toy channel. It's growing at an exponential rate.
Speaking of Legend Series, before you wrap this up real quick, tonight is obviously Jake St. Roberts. As if you didn't have enough documentaries on that guy, and also starting this Tuesday, Dark Side from the Ring.
A Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring. Yes. I'm trying to figure out if the latest episode was John Tenta or not. It might be. Don't quote me on that.
That's gonna be sad. I love the Earthquake.
I'm just like,
good. I think they're gonna like redo the Shockmaster thing for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been seeing stuff on Twitter with that. So
that's great.
And the fact that the most wholesome thing going around is Haku seeing it for the first time, which is great.
That's funny. That's great. He probably has a jovial laugh like Tony Atlas.
No, he really does. I'm gonna send the clip right when we're done.
Yeah. I can already picture it. Anyway, follow False Finish Productions, follow Fight World Live, please and thank you. Enjoy the coming weeks of the WrestleMania build. It's probably going to be good. We'll be back next Sunday to talk more about it. So
and enjoy the rest of the fine programming on Fight World Live.
Yes, enjoy all the shows that you got on this network, courtesy of Dave Potter and all the people at Fight World Live. Great shows. And enjoy AEW if you were silly enough or brave enough to watch.
I'm silly and brave.
I'm 100%.
You're the bravest one I know.
I'm bravely silly.
Until next week, everybody. This has been Spot Monkey Radio, man. Take it easy.